Hello there everybody, Reggie Time here with another hand from a session I played a couple of days ago now, I think it was. I think this is quite interesting for its turn options. So we'll go ahead and start with the hand, and most of the discussion is going to take place on the turn. But if you do have any comments about any of my play before we get to the point where I've got my questions, please do feel free to share them with me. So it falls to the button here, and of Kabi is probably one of the better regulars in 13L. He opens pretty wide from the button, and he does fold to a decent amount of 3-bets. According to my database, it's 66%. I didn't know that at the time, but I was aware that he was very positionally away. He's very tight early position. He has a steady curve to the button where he gets more and more loose and more aggressive. And his button open percentage is going to be high enough. And like I say, he does fall to a lot of re-steal. So I elect to re-steal here. I think my size seems okay for somebody who folds a decent amount. And we get flattered, which clearly isn't ideal, but our hand is playable post-flop. I'm not convinced by the 3-bet, but I mean, if we're going to be just expecting a lot of folds, I think it's fine. We don't block very much with it, but when we do get called, it's a kind of hand that is going to flop well from time to time. So all isn't lost when we do get called. And we then hit a flop that completely misses us, which is far from ideal. But that said, we do have some backdoor equity. It's ace high, it's pretty dry. So I did elect to go ahead and c-bet, which I think it's fine. If he has just pilled me with pocket pairs, I think his range for calling is going to be some like weaker ace-x hands, pocket pairs, maybe some higher suited connectors like king-queen suited, king-jack suited, queen-jack suited, that type of thing. So I think a c-bet's going to show a decent amount of profit here. So I do go ahead and c-bet, and again we get called, which right now I'm just thinking I'm pretty much done with the hand unless we hit a duty of a turn. I mean, I wouldn't be continuing here, for example, on a 2 of hearts turn. I wouldn't be continuing here on our suit king turn. And then we hit this turn card. So this is where all of our options come into play, and this is where we're going to freeze the action. What would you do here? Our opponent, his range is either going to be some floats, I guess, maybe. Some weaker aces, like for example, I don't think he has an ace king here. Maybe he can have an ace queen, like ace jack, ace 10, that type of thing. I think that's going to be the aces he has. If he has them aces, I think he could definitely have 2 in the sets. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Villa's going to fold a lot of the time, but at the same time, I don't think all is completely lost in terms of getting to fold some of his hands. But bearing in mind that I think he can definitely have some floats here, I think it does open up a lot of our options. I think we have an option to just overbet here if we wanted to, and just like completely commit to the hand. I don't think that'd be the worst line ever. I don't know, make it, I don't know, something like 16, something like that. I don't know. I wouldn't really know what sizing exactly, but just some sort of weird overbet. I don't think that's the best option, but it's certainly an option. We could just bomb c-bet it. We could just make it like 8 or something like that. I think, again, so we bomb barrel it. Again, I think that's an equally fine option. We could elect to just make a pretty normal sized barrel. You know, maybe a $5-6 double barrel, just to kind of fold out the weakest parts of his stuff that's still beating us. Well, sort of like if we, instead of checking and then him bombing into us, we have a little bit of fold equity with that line. We have a little bit of pot equity still. Or we could elect to check and then probably just check raise. Probably just check fold. Well, maybe consider check raising all in if he made a really small bet. If we thought we had some fold equity, say he bet just, say $5 or something. So I think they're all our options. And given the reads I've given to us at the table, he's a solid regular, probably one of the best regulars in the game. how would you approach this turn? Now, you may not get to this turn the same way I get to it, but if you did, what would your approach be from here? I'm very interested to hear comments on it because I think there's lots of options available here. I think it's a pretty interesting hand, and I hope plenty of you can get involved wherever I post it, and hopefully we can get some really good feedback and some good discussion going on the merits of my line and this type of line in general. So I hope you enjoyed the hand. I hope you can get involved with it. Thank you very much, and I shall post results in maybe 2 or 3 days on the YouTube channel. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.